My special guest today, Carl from Montreal, is in kind of a limbo having to do with a bizarre assortment of issues in which he's become entangled. And it's, Carl, of course, I'm not in a position to have traced your history, so I don't know, the accuracy of everything you're telling me, but you certainly seem to me to be an unusually candid fellow, and I'm inclined to take everything you say to me at face value. I presume it's all true. And I'm just terribly, terribly upset that somebody would find themselves in the situation you're in.
I know. It doesn't seem that much I can do about it. Right now, I have forwarded these documents, which my lawyer has, and we're trying to get them published, put them on the Internet, copies of the exhibits of various court documents. And some of these dismissals where the judge ordered the case dismissed on several occasions before several courts in Virginia.
Have you thought of contacting the American Civil Liberties Union?
I didn't get anywhere. I've tried to contact them in the past, and I've also contacted Judicial Watch, and they say they can only take certain cases and constitutional issues, so I haven't got anywhere. I have contacted some people up here in Canada. One of them is a member of the Canadian Action Party. It's one of the minority parties up here. It's also a 9/11 Truth Party up here in Canada. They've taken some interest in this.
If I had to speculate, I'm inclined to think they want to keep you in limbo until Bush is no longer in office.
I don't know. I've been here 10 months. I've been here since May of 2007. We've got documents, affidavits from family members, affidavits from my former boss, and we presented all the documents to court. My lawyer here, Stuart Isvanfi, believes that maybe somebody in the Bush administration told me to lock me up and shut me up or something, or he says it's a possibility.
I think it's a possibility, too. I've been reading a book entitled, I've just finished reading a book called The Bush Tragedy, and I'll check it during the break and give you the author's name, but
maybe I can get somebody to send it to me or something.
Well, it's really a study of the psychology of W, and it seems to me he's an extraordinarily shallow person, and although this isn't really emphasized, in my opinion, he's very vindictive and punitive. Look at the actions of his administration in relation to Valerie Plame, because Joe Wilson goes on a mission to Niger and discovers that the claim that the vice president had been peddling that Saddam Hussein was trying to obtain yellow cake to make nuclear weapons is a phony story based on forged documents. They go way out of their way to expose that his wife, Valerie Plame, is a covert CIA operative who actually is supervising a secret network to contain the proliferation of nuclear weapons in the Middle East. I can't think of a more important task, and yet they were willing to reveal her identity and nullify that entire network, which undoubtedly, in my opinion, led to the death of any number of those who were collaborating with them and squandering key assets. This is precisely the opposite of the kind of action one would take if one really cared about the safety and security of the American people.
I also heard about an article my lawyer told me. I haven't read it. It was in Harper's Magazine, how Bush administration was using the Justice Department, as an instrument to go after people.
Yes.
That's
been a major scandal here, exactly.
And my lawyer is filing that as an exhibit in the court here to do with my case, and my lawyer believes it's relevant,
Oh, yes. I think this is going to be one of the biggest black marks against the Bush administration is the politicalization of the Department of Justice and the use of federal attorneys to bring charges against Democratic politicians shortly before elections in order to sway their outcome. It's completely disgusting. I don't think there's going to turn out to have ever been as corrupt an administration as this one. And the fact that they are so lawless, they've completely abandoned any commitment to the Constitution and due process makes your case, I think, a perfect candidate for the kind of thing that these people would be willing to do regardless of its lack of fairness or justice for you.
Yeah. And this thing goes even further. The stuff that my documents here and what the court has alleged, they made allegations. The probation officer who prepared the pre-sentence report, well, I haven't gotten to that part yet, but later they made accusations that they were unwilling to prove with any documents. The vague allegations, they don't have any dates of these supposed allegations that had to do with this woman in Florida. They cooked up a pre-sentence report. This was in September 2001, because I haven't finished where I left off. This Dr. Phillips here, who I managed to get a copy of his curriculum vitae after I was sentenced, and this doctor here went to Yale, Harvard. I mean, he has a 25-page thick resume, 25-page long resume, and this doctor's Columbia University, it goes on and on. I'm looking for it. I have it here in my papers here. His own, admission to, ties to the Clintons and to, Bushes, and even going back as far as Reagan, this Dr. Phillips here, I'm trying to find it here. I know his education began back as far as...
What's his first name?
Robert Phillips. I'm looking here for the... He's in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm trying to see if I put it here. I never seen anyone with a resume like this. I mean, his own credentials are, I mean, looks like he spent most of his life in college. I'm trying to see here.
Does he have Forensic Consultation Associates? Is he with Forensic Consultation Associates?
Yeah, that was one of the ones. I'm trying to find it here. He also went to Yale, Harvard. I'm looking for it here. I have a folder with a lot of papers here.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay.
He'd also...
Obviously, he's very well connected.
And also, I heard on another radio show something to do with Columbia University, and I think it was on Kevin Barrett's show regarding... here, I have it right here. His education began back in 1969 to 1972, where he got his Bachelor of Science in Boston College. His master's was at Harvard between 72 and 73. Between 73 and 75, his graduate studies in basic medical sciences was at Tufts University. Then he got his Doctor of Philosophy at the University of Iowa between 76 and 82. Then he got his Doctorate of Medicine at Mayo Medical School between 78 and 82. His sub-internship was at Harlem Hospital, Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons between 81 and 82. General Psychiatry, Bellevue Hospital, New York University School of Medicine. His graduate medical education was all the way from 82 to 86, Mayo Clinic, Yale. He was chief resident at Yale University School of Medicine. He was also the deputy medical director of the American Psychiatric Association.
Stand by, Carl. We'll be right back with my special guest, Carl from Montreal.